You're listening to the
Boldcastify Football Show, episode 25. My name's Clay.
My name's Jay.
My name's Justin.
Not much to talk about besides it's Super Sunday. Everyone's pumped. Let's get at it.
I will become the biggest Dirty Bird fan. I might even learn how to do the dance.
Already got it down.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to do a live stream of this soon. Justin, teach me how to do the Dirty Bird.
I like this. This is going to be good.
I hate the Patriots.
I think most of America can side with you.
And I do hate the Patriots. Let's not get twisted. But I kind of like the Falcons. I'm a Jaguar fan, and I really don't care about any other team.
Right.
That's just how it is. But there's teams that you're okay with seeing win, like when the Saints won their Super Bowl. I was pretty cool with that. If the Falcons win, I'll be pretty cool with that too.
Yeah. I definitely will be. Because, family.
Got a lot of friends that are going to be stoked about it.
Yes, that's kind of my idea. And really, how successful has Atlanta been in sports?
It's unreal. They've had all those like Dominique Wilkins, Hawks teams.
My Lord, seriously.
How good the Braves were, and they only got one World Series out of
How
it.
did they get one World Series out of all those good teams?
I don't know. They just had like pitchers for days.
Yeah, all kinds of Hall of Famers up there.
Deion Sanders has played for the Falcons.
Yep.
Michael Vick was like the most unstoppable man in football.
Did you read that article?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah. Highly recommend y'all checking out an article in a Journal-Constitution.
Yeah, they got to do a 30 for 30 on him now.
Eventually,
I'm surprised they haven't already done it.
Yeah, because he's definitely like more complex guy than what people think of him. Same thing like Ricky Williams. People just thought, oh, Ricky Williams, he's just a weed head. He's a lot more than
most
that.
People, especially when given the opportunity, you get behind the story.
Yeah,
you knew Mike Vick had a lot more to him. Just a lot came very quick for him.
And I can't think of quarterback besides Brett Favre that was more fun for me to watch. There's quarterbacks that are really good,
right,
but not as exciting.
I can kind of go with that, yeah.
Exciting.
The excitement that he brought when he was drafted, you saw it in college, but you thought, okay, it's just college. But then when he went to Atlanta and the way he transitioned the game, he changed the way the game was played.
Yeah.
100% completely.
He was their entire team.
And even going forward, defenses have changed because of the mobile quarterback. And it was predicated because of the way Vic ran the Falcons. He carried a number of those Falcon teams.
Yeah, that's why they were so up and down. Because they went to the NFC Championship game. Next year, no playoffs.
Right.
Mind-blowing. I just don't know how they couldn't have sustained success for, 40 years?
Oh, yeah.
Of their existence.
Never had a back-to-back playoff appearance until Mike Smith.
Including when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
They didn't go to the playoffs the year before, and they didn't go to the playoffs the year after. How many teams have done that?
Yeah, I can't really think of... I could think of it afterwards, but usually you have something before or after, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There have been some fall-offs.
Were the Rams a playoff team before 99? They came together quick.
No, they weren't. I'm not 100%, but they were 13-3 that year. They want to say they were 4-12 or something the year before.
It was a meteoric rise for the Rams.
Oh yeah, that was one of the biggest rises in NFL history.
Weird. Be good to see them get
Rise
it done.
up.
Sure.
I'm sure Samuel L. Jackson would be stoked. Big Falcons fan.
I can handle the whole rise up
What
thing.
about MC Hammer? Do you think he'll be there?
He might be throwing his hammer pants around. He's a Raiders fan.
He's an Oakland man.
He is,
Future will be there.
He was actually Atlanta fan in the beginning, I guess.
Well, it makes sense because of the time and Dion and all that stuff down there.
If I had to guess, Andre and Big Boy will be there.
Oh yeah, Ludacris
Future will be there. Ludacris.
You know Luda's going to be there.
Ludacris played title game, halftime show. Yeah.
Man, that tells you right there why the Georgia Dome was rocking.
I'm sure Missy Misdemeanor Elliott's going to be there.
Oh, of course. Man,
all that.
Hot Atlanta. All right, folks. So who is it? We got Tom Brady, Tom Terrific rolling in. H-Town, 39 years of age, with the defense I believe they have.
Yes, but that defense is skewed
New England.
because the first team that they played with actual decent defense was last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that.
I think that their defense is a little overblown.
Yes, I
It's
agree.
not bad. I think the Falcons have a legit chance at it. It's hard to count out the Patriots, not because of Tom Brady, but because of Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is a hell of a game planner.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's a pick your poison offense in a real serious way. Are you going to... Okay, the whole thing they always say about Bill Belichick is that he takes away your big weapon. Which big weapon do you take away?
No.
Do you take away...
Julio?
Do you take Freeman away? Because if you take Freeman away, they're just going to throw it on you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's pick your poison.
Yeah, they're just going to pick you apart over the middle if you start selling out to stop the run.
Yeah.
Because I got a good 1-2 punch.
That's a rough one.
I know what I wanted to happen, and at least it has a legit chance of happening.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I think it's not a good game.
You don't think it's a good game?
I don't think it's a good game.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Every game the Patriots have been involved in the Super Bowl, well, in the Brady Belichick era, should we say, have been very close games.
Yeah, pretty much all of them in solid games.
Including the last time the Patriots were in Houston, which is where they held off the Carolina Panthers 32-29 because of Vinatieri's late field goal.
That was good.
That was a really good one. I won some good money on that game. A little tidbit. And that was also the same game of Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction.
The old nip slip. Yep, I remember that.
It
I also
does.
remember that game kind of sucked at halftime, and then it
Yes.
got real good after
Then it
the
lit
second
up.
half. Yeah.
You didn't expect that to come from Carolina. It's like, oh, hey, you're coming alive. All right, that's pretty good.
Was that the Kerry Collins Panthers?
No, that was Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme. Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. That was Steve Smith's coming out party. And that tells you something. He just retired. Wow. But this, I think, will be the third Super Bowl in Houston.
Good for them.
Recognized out there. The line is Patriots by 3. Over and under was 58.5.
Choose the under.
That's the highest ever for a Super Bowl.
58-point score.
See, we expected that big high point spread for the Packers-Falcons, and we almost got it just because the Falcons were going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The Falcons are playing in their second Super Bowl in their history. Obviously, losing to the Broncos the first time in 99, 34-19.
This is totally different, though.
Oh, yeah. That Falcons team wasn't meant to be there. I mean, it was good they got there, but it was a missed kick to one Vikings team.
I can't believe that Vikings team didn't
No.
get there and never got back.
That right there is a... I don't even know how that team didn't get there.
Lost ring.
Yeah, that is definitely... And that's one we have to do one night. Teams that should have won.
Yeah.
Because there's a few that are hanging out there. But I digress. This will be also the Patriots' 9th appearance, which is a Super NFL record.
Yep, I heard that.
Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But they've also got a few losses in there, too.
Yeah, considering they hadn't gone but one time before that in their entire history, before the Belichick era. It's wild.
It is kind of crazy.
Maybe. I don't know. I think he may have been a defensive coordinator for the 96 group.
Oh, that's right. They went and they lost to the Packers. So they lost to the 85 Bears and they lost to the Packers.
No.
That's it. Okay.
No, it's hard to forget. It's hard. Usually I end up forgetting the 85 Bears sometimes. That is the actual Patriots.
It's
But
just
how they stumble into that.
whatever team that was there to get destroyed by the Bears.
Yeah, because you don't care who the AFC offered up. It was like it was going to be a sacrifice to the Bears.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Not really too much to talk about. Just a couple little Super Bowl tidbits. The only thing we're going to toss this out is because these may be involved in the Super Bowl trivia coming up at Brewer's Pizza for the Boldcastify Big Game Bash. Super Bowl 49 was the most watched television show ever. And that was the Patriots' last-second victory over the Seahawks, viewed by 114.4 million viewers.
Dang.
Which is wild because you consider how many things are on TV these days.
Oh, yeah.
There was a higher percentage of Americans watching it previously, but there's more Americans watching it now. That's still a big chunk of the country. That's just crazy.
Oh, it gets up a notch. Katy Perry's infamous Left Shark halftime performance at the same Super Bowl drew even more
Halftime viewers.
It went up to 118.5 million. Because, well, it's Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I mean, that says enough right there.
That was good.
A couple other small tidbits before we move on. The first 2 Super Bowls were almost lost because of soap operas. Because, I guess, there's only so much tape to go around back in those days. And they really didn't think too much about the original 2 Super Bowls. Because they thought they were going to be lost and move on because the NFL championship was more important. They were taped over because of soap operas. Big soap operas at the time.
Yeah, it's like the NFL didn't realize
What they had.
what they were and what they had.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It is really
Right.
bizarre.
It was because of the merger. No one really thought it was going to be successful. They thought it was just going to be like a how can you put it? Kind of like a Pro Bowl-ish exhibition game is more or less what they thought the first few was going to be. They thought it would be, it's nice, it's cute, it's going to go away.
Okay.
That's originally what they thought.
Well, they're freaking wrong.
Yes, that is a definite fact.
All it took was a big market team, because Super Bowl III is what did it.
Yeah, and also took the AFL winning.
Yeah.
That definitely helped. But yes,
Sure.
the big market. And the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. There has never been an overtime Super Bowl so far.
Gotta work on that.
The Steelers have won the most with 6.
Oh, everybody knows that dumb stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately. On Super Bowl Sunday, Americans will drink an estimated 325.5 million gallons of beer and devour 1.25 billion chicken wings.
Fudge.
And one of the last 2, Devin Hester was the first player to return and only player to return opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Well, what team did he do that with?
Chicago Bears.
Okay.
I believe that's the only time he's been to a Super Bowl.
And that one host team has never played in a Super Bowl is only kind of true, right? Because of the 49ers. Like, they played in a different stadium.
Yeah, but it wasn't their stadium.
It wasn't their stadium, but it was their city.
Not really. Ish.
It's
it
like
was Stanford, but
it's like 50 miles away.
Yeah, this is pretty damn close.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah. But, I mean, when they talk about host teams never played in a Super Bowl, they're talking about in their actual stadium.
Yeah.
Because, man, that aspect, you could have counted L.A.,
Yeah, that's
the
what
Rams, and Pasadena. Because the Rams, I want to say it was 14, I may be off, but the Rams and Pittsburgh played in Pasadena.
It's weird to even think that the Super Bowl happened in Pasadena in the past, like, because of how over-the-top huge the Super Bowl's gotten now.
Oh, yeah.
It's way too big for...
Well, think about it. I mean, it happened in an outdoor stadium in Houston, in a college stadium, a Rice Bowl. It happened in Tulane Stadium in New Orleans because the Superdome wasn't completed. It's happened in some interesting locations for sure.
Hadn't been that way for a while, though.
Not in recent years.
They started this system of awarding cities for shaking down whatever...
Taxpayers.
And,
that fancy new
congratulations,
stadium.
Detroit. You talked your city into giving you a stadium. You get a Super Bowl now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Minneapolis, we're coming to you next because you got a nice plexiglass stadium with birds flying into it.
With that sweet...
That horn is pretty dope. But last but not least, Rich Gannon has the appearance not to forget. He threw a record 5 interceptions versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 37, I believe.
It was inevitable that was going to go bad for the Raiders.
It was. That was just not going to be good either way, however you look at it. But sucks to suck. I just you so aptly put it.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from the Super Bowl, and be sure to join us at Brewer's Pizza on Sunday. Starting at 5, we'll be doing a little bit of Super Bowl trivia, raffle, and then watch the big game. Moving on to a little bit of Jags news. What do y'all think about the Jags stuff? Now they've lined everyone up.
I think they dropped a couple, about 4 or 5 people. I think it went from like 22 or 23 to like 19.
We've talked about most of it.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much got everyone out there.
The weirdest thing to me is we did not fire our special teams coordinator. We demoted him to assistant.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was going to. When
That's
he
so
didn't
weird.
disappear off the staff.
He didn't disappear off the staff, but someone from the Times Union that was out there at the Senior Bowl said that he was not wearing any Jaguar swag when he was out there.
What?
Yes.
So, okay.
So I'm not 100% sure if he even thought he was going to be on the staff.
But he's at the Senior Bowl.
Why would he be on the staff?
Right.
They just gave his job to somebody else, and he was bad at his job.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
Why is he still around?
Maybe he's under Joe D to be coached up a little bit. They like him. They think he could be good, but he just was never really
An
coached up.
internship situation?
Maybe something.
Maybe that's all Gus needed was like an internship situation.
Well, good luck out there in Los Angeles. Y'all have fun with that. All in all, I'm liking the hires I mean, for everyone I know, I don't really know Eric Price on offense research.
Who cares about that guy?
Yeah, I have no idea.
None of that matters.
What do y'all think about the quarterbacks coach? That's the only one really I haven't spoke about.
That's interesting.
Scott Smilovich.
He was a head coach in the AFL, right? CFL.
CFL,
CFL,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, he was head coach of the
Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah. And so he's managed the whole team.
Yeah, and the Argonauts have been pretty good.
I think he took them to 2 or 3 Grey Cups, which I don't really watch the CFL much, so I can't really speak on the...
We have the NFL. We don't really need to.
I can't really speak on the, how detail-oriented he is.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way most of the staff has turned out for all intents and purposes.
Yep, Coach Thunder.
Yeah. Coach Thunder. I mean, that wrapped it up for me. I mean,
That did.
once you put him on the staff, I'm like, you all can do whatever you want from here. Assistant to the head coach. Huh. I guess you get one of them. Now, tell me what y'all think about this one real quick. Alex Mack was ready to be a Jag. He was asked this on media night on Monday. Obviously during the Super Bowl media night. And he said, yeah, I was ready to be a Jag. Never got the call.
It's...
I think it had to do with the age thing. Because he was 2 years older. I think they already franchised him. So that put him at 27.
He's an offensive lineman, though. Like,
And he just had like the best year he's had.
And I think, honestly, Dave just didn't see the need.
Yeah, why do that when you've got a guard that you can move over to center?
Yeah, makes sense. And just leave another availability over on the other side.
I don't get it.
It was dumb. Dave screwed up. Just point blank.
Well,
I think about what our offensive line could have looked like if Brandon Leonard could just be kept at guard. And then you've got Alex.
You kept him at right guard where he was. You kept Can at left guard where he was. And then throw Mack in the center. Money.
Do y'all remember when Atlanta came to town last year to play the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Real bad offensive line play. They didn't change a whole lot of pieces of their line,
No, not really.
but they did put in.
They got a
Alex
very
Mack,
important piece.
and that made a massive, massive difference.
I'm not saying Brandon can't be a good piece. I think he can be. I think he's going to be a pretty good center.
I think it'd be a good piece at center, good piece at guard, but why move him
Right. That's my point.
to create a new problem?
I think they figured, this is just me playing devil's advocate right now. I think they moved him because they felt like guard was easier piece to find.
But sounds good. They haven't been able to fill it. Part of it was injuries. I mean, they got decimated at guard.
you had Luke Boenko go out.
Maybe is the whole decision like a reactionary thing to like were they expecting Luke Boenko to be the center and then he got put on IR and they're like, Brandon Leonard center.
Well,
Not from what it seems. He's been in the doghouse.
Well, that's kind of weird because Luke Boenko came out the first year he was drafted. I don't know if they were forced to play him at center. They might have been.
They were kind of forced to play anybody.
So they were forced to play him at
Everybody.
center. Then the next year, Gus Bradley was like, get that guy, Wisniewski. They promised Luke Boenko and Wisniewski a competition, which it wasn't.
No, it's BS.
We all know the competitions with the Jaguars for the last 3.5 years were not competitions. They had their boy, and that's that.
Yeah.
Because it never played out like competition.
Yeah.
And in any of the competitions, quote competitions, I guess.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, and then Wisniewski, they didn't resign him because he threw the football over a 6'3" or 6'4" quarterback. Multiple times.
Yeah.
To where he had his hand up in the air trying to stop it, and it was over his hand. So we're talking like an extra, at least a foot.
Yeah, I
2
don't
feet.
understand how he
He's
screwed
hiking
that up
that
so
son
many
of a
times.
bitch over 7 feet in the air.
Yeah, hiking that son of a bitch 7 feet up in the air, and it just doesn't make any sense. And then this year, Luke Boenko gets injured, doesn't come back till like halfway through the season.
Like, I think he came back like the last couple games.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like well towards the end.
It was like 2 games that left, and that's when they designated him to come back.
And then what position did he play this year? Guard, I imagine.
Center, I think they had him at center.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he was still at center.
Okay, so then Brandon Linder, what position did he play?
He was already set as center, for the most part.
Well, he's just saying Luke Blanco was at center.
They were both set at center. One was depth, one was starting.
I thought
Blanco was playing in the game.
I thought Blanco was playing in the game.
Did Linder get injured?
Yeah, Linder got injured at one point.
Oh,
At the end of the year, it was like they were
Yeah.
just throwing people on the bench, just like we'll pick it up next year.
Pretty much.
Damn, I didn't even. I must have missed something about
Yeah, I mean,
Linder.
at one point they were looking at people like, who's good here? Just go ahead and go in there. I don't do that. No, go ahead. I mean, it was pretty rugged at the very end.
Weird.
But yeah, there's one. I want to say there's 1 or 2 games we went without Linder.
Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can't cry over spilt milk. And that's spilt milk. That's really old spilt milk.
Like the last 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years, 7 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Last spilt milk.
Yeah, there's a lot of split milk, but I'm saying that's kind of dumb.
Let's talk about some really good milk.
What a segue.
That's a segue. And definitely, if you like some milk, get some TG Lee, according to this guy over here. Let's go look at Tony Boselli in the Hall of Fame candidacy. What do y'all think?
I don't think he gets in, sadly. I think he garners 50%. But that's just me.
If he gets in this time or not, I think that he is almost
He's almost a guaranteed chew-in next year.
guaranteed to get in eventually.
Yeah, I think he's getting in eventually. I actually think he's got a good chance to get in.
Well, give me some time to save up to take a trip to BFE, Ohio.
I've always wanted to go to Canton, but I've been holding it off because I want to
never
save
wanted
it.
to go to Canton.
You never wanted to go to the Hall of Fame?
No.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go
love
to the Pro
do
Football Hall
that.
of Fame.
I would love to go there. Just browse the...
Bronze statues.
It's got the...
All kinds of stuff in there.
It's got the jersey of Peyton Manning when he threw his 50th touchdown one year.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all kinds of random
It's got a bunch of crap in there.
memorabilia throughout NFL and pro football history.
Yeah. That doesn't interest you at all?
Not enough for me to drive to Ohio.
Well,
fly to Ohio.
I wouldn't. That wouldn't be the only thing I would be doing. I'd probably go.
You'd be taking in all of Canton, Ohio's nightlife.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, originally I was going to go up there and see a relative, but now he's passed away because I waited so long. But I don't know. I still want to check it out because there's so much history. But I was going to save it for when Tony got in because I figured that would make it a big. Everyone goes in together.
There's a chance.
Yeah, because I think there's a good possibility Tony's going in, and if not this year, because it is a push, because you've got a few people that are probably going to get in this year, with Terrell Davis, Terrell Owens. I mean,
You guys really think he's going to get in this year?
Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
How can you not put him in?
Because he's a D-bag and people don't like him.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, I understand that. I mean, he has pissed off a lot of people, but I would be shocked if he doesn't get in just because of pure talent.
Well,
and you have Randy Moss coming up next year.
a lot of people are saying that he doesn't get in just because of him being a
A D-bag, yeah. Which, I mean, I can see that because you have people that he's pissed off in the media.
Yes, and that's
who's voting.
and yeah, that's who holds the credentials. I did not know that in Jacksonville we hold 2 credentialed people that vote for this thing.
You didn't know that?
No,
One of them saying Guevara's.
Yeah.
one of them San
Man,
Quavaras.
what?
Yeah, Sam's been doing it for a long time.
That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
And the other one is Vito.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Vito's been doing it for a long time also.
Yeah, so that one makes a whole lot of sense to me. I'd be willing to go to BFE, Ohio to celebrate Tony Boselli going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Now, would this be one of the biggest things in Jacksonville sports history?
They were talking about that earlier tonight on 1010. I don't think so. I think it would be momentous, but I don't think it would be one of the biggest things.
Name a top 3 for Jacksonville sports.
Yeah, it would be the third.
That's pretty big.
So,
pretty
yeah,
big.
there you go. Got it.
But
I mean,
but it would be the third though.
That's still pretty big there, bro.
yeah, that's
Okay.
one of the biggest moments in Jaguars history. If it's top 5, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's... If it makes the top 5, it's still pretty big.
I was thinking like number 1. My bad. Must have missed the memo.
Well, it's hard to beat number 1 right now. But it would definitely be in the top 5. Hands down.
Yeah, Jacksonville sports history.
It's very short, too.
There's good stuff, but I mean,
It was good short, but it's very concise and very early.
Yeah, there's not a lot of very important stuff in Jacksonville sports history beyond. You've got a couple Jaguar teams. You've got a couple Florida Georgia games that matter.
Right.
Like, they matter to Gator fans and Bulldogs fans, but a couple of them...
To actually matter nationally.
Yeah, like the Lindsey Scott game for Georgia
right.
catapulted them to a national championship. I get it. Big
right.
deal. You know? And so, like, there's a couple of those.
Was it Tebow jump pass or whatever?
No, that was LSU.
Okay, I can't remember.
It was real good.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple moments here and there. Like, most of the Gator Bowls don't matter. Bobby Bowden's last game.
That was a pretty good
one. It was about as big as the Gator Bowl gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
get very big down here.
You've got a couple Jaguar teams that make you believe in miracles. And then you've got Tony Boselli going to the Hall of Fame.
We got a couple Olympic swimmers.
Sure.
Get Bull Bob Hayes.
We're a football town.
That's pretty much it.
We got, what was it, D Ford? Is that the JU basketball player that played for the Celtics for a long time?
Come on, Artis Gilmore.
Artis Gilmore is another one. He's the bigger of the two, but I think D was around when we were watching basketball.
Yeah.
So.
The Artis played for, I forget who else, but he played for Louisville, I think, in the ABA.
He's one of the biggest people to play football. Play sports, I mean.
Out of his town, yeah.
From Jacksonville, him and Timmy.
Yeah, and Bob Hayes.
We're not counting golfers by any means?
I mean, you can count golfers in there, yeah. Toss one in.
I don't know, but I know there's some good ones out there at Fernandina.
The players is...
Well, a lot of them just live there, moved down there and live there, too.
Well, I know...
Players has had, like, really special moments, but it's not even considered a major officially.
No, it's not, but it's the unofficial major.
Yeah.
It's like the 4th major. Because it's like
a minor major.
So, I mean, a lot of people kind of do take it as a major. So, I mean, it's like the crown jewel of the PGA.
But what I'm saying is, ain't a whole lot there prestigious compared to...
No, I understand. I clearly understand what you're saying.
The first Jaguar in the Hall of Fame.
Right. So, nothing much really stacks up to it.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. With that being said, we're going to wrap this up and check into us at Brewers Pizza for a little Boldcastify Big Game Bash and a little pregame show about 4 o'clock live on location. Live Bold, Boldcastify.
Hey, this is the Nation for Ric Flair, living right here, live in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta's on fire. The home of the Falcons. Green Bay on the road, coming to hot Atlanta. We are the best team in the NFL today. I'm not part of it, but I'm here telling you, Matt Ryan MVP, Coleman, Freeman, Beasley, Neal, name it. Yes, Aaron Rodgers, you are a bad man. But you're coming to Atlanta to face 22 bad men. This is Atlanta, Georgia. We are living destiny, and the Falcons are going all the way. Nature Boy, myself, right here. I've already rented a jet. I bought tickets. I'm going to Houston. They ride it out. They ride high. Remember, to be the team, you got to beat the team. In Atlanta, Georgia right now, the Atlanta Falcons are the team. Woo! Limousine riding, jet flying. That's the Falcons, kids. Woo! Julio, love you.